Welcome back. Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And I was sent this knife in on a pass around. And the knife I have in front of you today is the We Knives 801C Menitor. This blade comes in right around $298 at Blade HQ. And let's talk about it and see what y'all think, if it's worth that price category. And I see this knife being your higher end EDC with a great blade shape for most of your day-to-day tasks. At least that's what I thought about it. So let's go over the quick specs. You have a 7 7/8 inch overall length, so it's a full-size EDC knife. You have a 3.5 inch blade with a 3 1/8 inch cutting edge. You have a handle of around 4.5 inches, grip area of around 3 3/4. You have a handle thickness of 0.56, so it's a little bit above your average ½ inch. At your widest portion of this knife, it is 1.36 inches. You have about a 4mm blade stock, and you have a nice, pretty high flat grind that's done decently, I think, nice and thin behind the edge at 17 thousandths. So definitely a great slicer. You still have that nice point for penetrating, and let's dive into it a little bit closer. So you look at this blade, you have a nice two-tone finished blade with black main grind bevels and satin flats. You have a Wharncliffe shaped blade. One thing about this I like is, let's see if I can show you it right here. It's Wharncliffe with a belly. As you can see, you can do that nice rocking motion, and you pretty much have all belly. So I don't know, is it considered a Wharncliffe? I don't know if Wharncliffe was just a straight across or not. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. But definitely saw the utility in this blade shape. The knife is sterile. We does a great job of that. You have no markings at all. The only time you'll see the markings if you pull out your magnifying glass, and you'll see the blade steel designation, which is your high-end Bowler M390. One of my favorite performance steels for the price. Definitely, it's not the easiest steel to sharpen, but it does hold a great edge for a long time. One thing that we does a great job of is these nice, classy crown spines. I think that just adds some class to the blade and a little added touch, especially when you're paying those higher price tags. You have the signature 3 We lines, I guess, for their logo, that do a good job of matching up with in between the jimping. You do have jimping up there. Being that it has that coating on there, I give it a light to medium traction, just because that, you know, they also crown the jimping. Along with that crown jimping, you have the coating, so it's not as much texture. Come over here, something that I absolutely love when they get this right. They nailed the sharpening choil absolutely perfect. You're going to have a nice, clean, sharp edge straight from both sides because you don't have any flare back here. Well done, well executed. They usually nail that every time. Some people may be able to use that as a forward finger choil. I could kind of do it, but it's not really made to be a forward finger choil. It's made to be a sharpening choil. So not a big deal. Let's close this guy up. You'll see you have some jimping on that flipper tab, and even though you had that coating right there, it still gives you purchase to flip the knife. And I like how they keep this nice rounded spot for both methods. You can do the light switch nicely, comes out with authority, and then if you want to push button it, comes out with a little bit more authority there. So nicely done. Nice done detent as always. And then you look at these beautifully done titanium scales. They're very softened all the way around the edges. You have no sharp edges to speak of. I love, love, love these inlaid carbon fiber pieces in there. They're textured. it's different. It gives you added traction when you're holding the knife, and it's just beautiful. And they didn't cheap out. They didn't just put it on this side. If you look over here, you have even more intricate inlaid sections on this side. See, instead of, having this one piece, they broke it up for you, and we'll talk about that in a second. Very, very nicely done. You have all Torx pivots, and the best part about it is they kept it Torx T8 throughout. We does their own hardware in-house, so they got a nice and crisp fitment in there. I don't have hardly any wobble. It's very easy to take apart their knives. They don't put Loctite on them for the most part, and they're very, very easy to take down. You have this nice blue anno on the body screws, and you have the matching ones on this side as well. You have a blue pivot collar underneath that Torx on the opposite side with the WE logo pivot on this side. You have this titanium backspacer with this geared pattern right here with your very generous lanyard hole, so all you lanyard people out there, you can easily fit 550. You have a nice milled titanium pocket clip. WE does some of the best 3D milled pocket clips in the game. Perfect retention, goes in and out of the pocket easily, and super home run on this. I like how they left you a flat portion underneath that pocket clip, so it goes in and out of the pocket very nicely. Very, very well done. I love to see it when a company gets something just absolutely right. Let's see. So there you go. Not deep carry, but that's deep enough for me. Definitely gives you some purchase to be able to pull the knife out of your pocket. And with your slanted, say, khakis on, this is a nice dressy knife. Even more sits into that pocket. And you can get to that lanyard hole and to the knife very, very easily. Let's see. Another thing that they did excellent here, you have some chamfers on both sides to be able to get your thumb in there, and they have it relieved right here on this scale, and I love to see that chamfer right there. They even added a little bit of texture. It's very comfortable to disengage this lock. No thought whatsoever. I can easily disengage that lock. I can do it left-handed very easily. That's why I like to see whenever they do a nice little cutout for lefties, it's easily disengaged. The only thing other than that is they would have liked to see them have tapped this for left and right hand carry. I don't think you can swap that over. I'm pretty sure you can't because there's no flat spot there. I could be wrong. You'll let me know. It is matching up to that, but I don't think, because I think you have a milled section right here. So sorry about that, lefties. Hopefully later down in the future they'll start offering that. As you can see, this action is very, very nice, riding on those ceramic bearings and ceramic detent with WE's well executed detents. Just nice. The ergos on this guy with that thicker handle scales is absolutely great in all holds for my medium sized hand. You got your hammer grip, your saber grip, this reverse grip, your pinch grips, and the reverse grip is pretty comfortable as well. Now this does kind of land in between my thumb, but I can wrap my thumb around there. I never use that, but just thought I'd show it to anybody who might. The lockup on this guy is nice at around 40%, probably 50%, because that steel lock bar insert usually is hitting a little bit further. So definitely nice, definitely solid. And this thing was a dream. I cut up some cardboard and some light stuff. Being this is a loaner, I didn't want to destroy that coating, which their coatings do handle cutting pretty well. They just tend to start scuffing up after a while, just like any other knife would. Now let's get some size comparisons and some knives that kind of compete with this, and just to kind of give you my thoughts on the $298, almost $300 price tag, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's way too expensive for what you're getting. But this is geared toward your higher end collectors. You know, if it seems too high of a price, then it's probably not, the right knife for you. And like for instance, this is just an example. Another one that's similar materials, but a good bit more than this one, is your Microtech sigil, MK6 sigil. And you have the M390, same blade steel, all tie. You don't have the fancy carbon fiber, but you do have a lot of milling here. And this one's a good bit more than the 298. So it's kind of, geared toward the people who are looking for that, classier knife or just something a little bit different. Another one that's kind of that same realm, it's the Benchmade Anthem. It's got 20 CV steel, pretty much the same makeup as M390. And this is an integral, but this one's what I think retails close to 500. So it's just another sample. Another one for size is the Boker Solo in 3V steel. I think these were close to the same price whenever this was still available. Maybe about $50 cheaper, but this is 3V as M390, aluminum, titanium, inlays. You get the picture. Some of your more budget-friendly options are more, I guess not budget, but without the embellishments. Say the Kaiser Wanderer. If you want to go down in the price a little bit, you don't have the embellishments that you do on here. And I'm not saying none of the knives do, but this one doesn't. This one's like $180 with S35VN and just plain scales. Coming with Bestech. It's your Bestech Predator. Now this has got a lot of the same, same design cues and all, but you have S35VN here, M390 here. This one's, I think, $200. And there you go. And one more that's kind of been surprising me here lately. It's a Tuya Knives Thorax. There you go, Thorax coming in at $150. There you go, with S35VN steel. So, let me talk about some quick minor gripes. Nothing hurting the functionality. WE does an excellent job with their fit and finish. QC is on point. So these are just nitpicks. I had to really think about this, and here you go. First off, with the flipper being behind the, behind the pivot, as you can see, it's pretty much underneath that pivot. It takes a little bit more detent because when you hit this all the way, that's how far it's going to go, and then the bearings have to do the rest of the work. So even though it's got a really nice action, because they, their actions are always nice, I think with the flipper tab being so far back, they could have used a little bit stronger of a detent. It doesn't bother me, but I know some people who like those super duper snappy, which, I mean, look, to me that's pretty darn snappy. But those who like, even snappier actions, I think it could have went with a little bit stronger of a detent. Nothing that hurts functionality though. Let's see. Another thing, and I'll talk about this every one I see. I don't understand the color of the WE logo. You have the anodizing on both sides, even on this side. I would have liked to either see the matching or all the same. And another thing is, I could be wrong, but every knife that they've used these anodized screws, when they went with all Torx, they only use these blue. I know they have capabilities of doing all kinds of different colors. I would definitely like to see them change it up because sometimes it just doesn't go with the design. Let me see. Oh, I just noticed they have it looks like the logo's blue. Maybe it might be black. It's like an iridescent. Some lights is blue. That way it looks black. I don't know. just caught that. There goes my ADD kicking in. Some other stuff I kind of thought was a little strange. I'm guessing this was, geared to be a more beefy, hard user. And I noticed they don't have their landing pad like they do on some of their knives. Let's see. I don't have everyone up. Kind of like this Bestech. See how you got the landing pad? They don't have it here. And I think they usually do stuff like that. I'm not too sure. And another thing I noticed, without that pad as well, if you look inside here, there is absolutely no lightning holes in there. and that may have been because of the these milled pockets that they had to do for these. That might have been why, because if they milled underneath it, it would have made it too thin. I'm not too sure, but it didn't hurt it too bad. It comes in at 4.58 ounces, so it's still a reasonable weight. It does throw the balance point back here a little bit, so it's a little bit handle heavy. I would like to see it closer up into that chaw, but like I said, this is super nitpicks. Very, I'm reaching here. I'm reaching. So overall, my thoughts, if this knife appeals to you and the price is fine with you, don't hesitate. Buy it. Excellent knife. I love the design. I love the looks. I love that Warncliffe with the little bit of belly. M39 steel is awesome. The crown spine's great. Love this nice textured carbon fiber. You got all these nice intricate milling in there. Just great job. Like I said, it's going to be for your higher end collectors, to have that different knife. So y'all let me know what y'all think. If you have this knife, let me know what you think about it. And for those of you who stuck around, my loyal followers, y'all let me know down in the comment section and any feedback, things that I could do different that would, I don't want this channel getting boring. It kind of seems like, just doing the same old reviews, same old stuff. I'm definitely going to start incorporating some of the footage of my tests that I do on each one of these knives. I know that's stuff that y'all like to see. I finally kind of got the setup to be able to try to do that, and I got a editing software that will allow me to do it as well. Let me know if y'all want to see that kind of stuff, and what do y'all want to see? Do y'all like seeing comparison videos more? Like head-to-head matchups? Do y'all like more discussion videos? I just want to know what y'all want, because I do these videos to help me out, get through pain sometimes, and to interact with you guys, and I want to give y'all what y'all want out of the channel, because y'all are what makes it keep going. So this is a 2U Knives Menitor. Let me know what y'all think. If you like my videos, please give them a big thumbs up. If you like my videos in general and you're not already, hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, hit that bell button so it notifies you anytime I have a new video up. I will be doing a 2,000 subscriber giveaway here soon whenever I hit that marker, and it should be a nice one. Hope everybody's having a nice one, and I'll see you next day. Peace.